something I was wondering about the safety. Since you've mentioned the more different kind of administration, the one with chemo, where everything gets like wiped out. I've been wondering. They said the safety profile is quite good, but as MS is an autoimmune disease, and autoimmune diseases never come alone. Well, they seldom come alone. I saw before in the talk that there are certain side effects, adverse effects, which also trigger autoimmune diseases. So what does a patient do if they already have a cluster of autoimmune diseases? Would that be an option for them as a treatment, or would a regular DMT be better?
Well, it's very difficult to answer your question, although I think it's, as in many situations, it's always a matter of balancing risks. There are already a few studies trying to compare DMTs with hematopoietic stem cells. In general, what we know in those studies is that autologous hematopoietic stem cell transplantation seems to be more efficacious. And this has been one of the debate in this session. However, I don't think there is yet definitive answer. I would say that probably, although I predict transplantation should occur early, still should happen after the most common DMTs. So because we don't, unfortunately, no one knows what is the possible complication of a treatment such as bone marrow transplantation, but also such as another drug that can be taken by a person with multiple sclerosis being 25, and who knows what is going to happen when she's going to be 40 or 50. But we know, and this is what I always say to my patients, we know what happens if she doesn't or he doesn't take anything, or he doesn't take anything that is good enough, because we know that in most of the cases the disease will lead you to disability. So I would say that you need to carefully balance things, but high efficacious DMTs and bone marrow transplantation are definitely a very good option to guarantee a prosperous and a favorable scenario for individuals with multiple sclerosis.
When do you think?
Remember that I'm working on mesenchymal stem cell. Now you're moving to another topic.
I'm sorry.
No
Actually, I wanted to ask you. Yeah. Well, otherwise, you wouldn't have all this knowledge. You taught me a lot today, but actually, I wanted to know, with combining the two methods of stem cells, yours and the ACTs, when do you think would a therapy be available, combining maybe both, ensuring a better outcome for patients?
That is a very, 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 very smart question, because I thought about it several years ago, and that clearly could put together what we want: a fantastic immunosuppressive capacity to stop inflammation and wipe out bad cells, and the other side promote tissue protection. So I wish we can have good results, and you can be the one that is pushing us to do that. At this stage, when I had this idea, I moved a little bit to agencies and regulatory offices, and they said, well, we don't know yet, these are experimental treatments. But I think that from a rational point of view, you hit the point, because you could really do, but not only hematopoietic stem cell transplantation plus MSCs, you can even think of mesenchymal stem cells with another potent anti-inflammatory effect. I mean, B-cell depletion together with MSCs. The point is that when you play with the immune system, you're all concerned that something bad can happen, and I understand, and we're talking about young fellows, young kids, and what I always discuss with my colleagues is that we need to decide what to do when someone is still doing good. And so it's not easy, because when you start not to feel good, everybody comes to me and say, do whatever you want. And I said, this is too late. We had to discuss this when you're still doing good. When you're still doing good, you say, I'm still doing good. Why you want to, give me a drug that maybe once every 5,000 times can give me a problem? I understand. But my answer is, I want you to still play tennis, go to your kids or to the game, to the goal game when you're 50 and be able to live a normal life. Then this is my answer.
Oh gosh, guys, today was my first day as an MS reporter, and he gave us so much information, and they actually explained something totally different from what I was expecting. By the combination of two different methods of stem cells, you can actually go into the verge of a cure, because first we regenerate the immune system, everything is just blast out, and then we reconstitute. With these new MSCTs, there's actually a way of regaining myelation, of rebuilding ourselves. If that's not interesting, I really don't know what.